our match last week between Queensland Country and the Rays. So Queensland Country still chasing their first victory of 2016. The Perth Spirit coming to this one with 2 wins under their belt. Good winners last week against the Rams, and they push up hard in defence here against Queensland Country. Going back is Banks to tidy that up. Shuffled across the line there out of the hands of Third, who's getting his second start in the fly half jersey for Queensland Country, with
14 out.
Mac Mason coming off the bench again today. Just juggled at the line there by Fa'angasi. And we're going to go back for the penalty. Offside, Perth Spirit.
Really like Perth's intent early on. They're getting off the line nice and fast. But for this Queensland Country side, we know they have struggled in this year's NRC competition. They'll be looking to bounce back today. And we'll start out with the line out. It's always impressive. We saw the previous game, the Rams play against the Vikings. The Vikings really struggle with their line out.
No, I'm holding.
Just some teething issues early on as well for both these sides as Casey gets set. And an early win for Angus Scott Young. Nice take at the top of his line out. Now spinning out of the tackle is Parisi, one of the competition's most dangerous runners, the outside centre for Queensland Country. This guy goes all right too, Tom Banks. Third, goes to Fa'angasi. Power, sips it across the line. Parisi goes early. Lovely hands out wide, and now Casey. He's wrapped up just inside the touchline. Good quick ball, good pick up too from Third, and the feet is sharp also over the top, looking for the turnover. He's Mulika Haima, Fa'angasi for Queensland Country. Nice build up this. Defence down that short side is strong from Braki. Finds, digs it out. Scott Young spinning at the line, and eventually he's brought down. It's a nice tackle from Haylett Petty, and they've turned it initially, but the ball placement is good from Scott Young, and he's a guy that's impressed through the opening weeks as well. Rodder for Queensland Country. Lovely long ball from Peawa. Casey dancing around, and then eventually put down by Stringer. Short side again, and it's a good line too from Queensland Country to push play just past the halfway line. This is a joke, honestly. Cross, it comes to Lafau. We're used to seeing him in the centres. Shifts a couple wider today. Looking for the counter there, Perth Spirit. Into our top. Made the tackle. Picking and going again is Rodder. Expecting him to get plenty of touches. 14 phases, and they only just now push deep across the halfway line. Do Queensland Country across to Lafau again, and he's picked off easily there by Ross Haylett Petty. He'll love getting around in the number 6 jersey rather than playing at lock where we're accustomed to seeing him get around for the Western Force. Parisi floats the ball over the top. That is knocked on from Braki. Play on's the call. 19 phases now. Fa'angasi stands in contact. Finds. Third, Banks to Scott Young. Third goes to Lafau. Lafau goes without it. So 20 phases of play come to naught, but promising signs for Queensland Country.
Yeah, look very promising there. 20 plus phases from Queensland Country. Very impressive stuff, and such early start to the game for those players to be holding on to the ball in fairly tricky conditions here in Perth. I think we'll find Bill Meeks, the centre for the Spirit, went down earlier, so we might try and have a look at him. But Queensland Country really coming out strong in this first half. It's good to see John O'Lance, the captain for Perth, make some great tackles, and Benny McCalman nice and hard over the ball there. I think as a young player playing in Perth, those players look up to those players and get a lot of experience.
Set.
Trying to get bulk in this Queensland Country 4-pack, and that's a good use early. McCalman with his first touch of the afternoon. He clears a pass, it goes back to Lance, and he's chopped by Scott Young. Nice tackle down low. Mitchell up top. They look for the turnover, won't get it. Digging it out is Lowrens. Well, they pile in. What great counter-rucking for Queensland Country. You can see the Gilbert there just under the feet of Sanday. Now Fines goes in. Fungusy, third. Long ball, great pick up, Parisi. Parisi gets the pass away, and here it is with McNamara. Fines again. Casey takes it just inside the 22, and now third. Flat ball to Scott Young. 8 on 8 as McCalman makes the stop shot on him. Third. Tucks it. Back inside to Water. Parisi. Parisi. He gets jarred initially by Scoville and manages to flip over the top of him. Still with Queensland Country. 5 phases in. Perth Spirit looking to hustle here. Third. Paowa. Great defence from the Perth Spirit for the moment. Third. Switching to Banks. Rodder once more. McCalman over the top he goes. Paowa dances around 1, 2. Eventually he's chopped by Morahan, who makes the tackle, ups and pilfers beautifully for the Perth Spirit, and they will clear off the boot of Vasu Kithakau. Wow, big time defence from the Perth Spirit. Queensland Country threw plenty at them.
How about that dancing there from the man, it's not Parisi, Powell. Great feet on him. We've seen a change. Bill Meeks is off the field. Benny Tapawai is in the centres for Perth Spirit. It looked like he had a bit of a head knock.
8 minutes of play gone, and Queensland Country have not made a tackle. On the flip side, the Perth Spirit have been forced to complete 24. 24 to zip. It's unbelievable control from Queensland Country to maintain that many phases and put the pressure on Perth, but it's still 0 apiece here with 8 minutes gone.
1-5, 6-9.
Again, it's good work from Scott Young. Short ball to Parisi. Oh, this kid is so good to watch, and he leaps into the tackle there of Morahan back on the 22, and unfortunately for young Isaiah Parisi, he's going to jump up and look around and think, what's happened? A little knock at the base of the ruck has cost his team possession there.
What a talent Parisi is. You see his impact early in this first half. I think as a forward looking up, and you see your centres as he jumps through the tackle there. But you're looking up as a forward, you see your backs making yards, making some gains and ground. It gives you plenty of enjoyment and excitement as a forward seeing that. I suppose it's better than a knock on or a turnover.
Parisi scored a try in each of Queensland Country's games this year. His first ever clash against the Perth Spirit. Yet to bag a win in the NRC. That man there in the 13 jersey for Queensland Country, he is talent personified. Parisi. feel like we hammer him every week in our broadcast, Ben Robinson, but it's praise well directed because he is a certain Super Rugby star of the future, and who knows where he ends up. He's still a teenager, has had to manage injury over the last couple of years, and we'll say it now, we'll say it again in the weeks to come. Parisi, gun.
And you got to love it when he comes in and gives the scrum a tap on the bum. Player Lottie Takiri used to do that back in the day.
Morahan stabs it through, and back is Banks. Reads it nicely, positioned well, and now slips through a couple of tackles. Eventually he's checked in the run by Moliki Hihaima.
Got him around the jaw, I think. Struggling a bit.
The foul, hungry for work, and he comes in off his wing for a tidy little carry in tight. Third, it has been all Queensland Country. No points to show for it yet, and they won't get them here either, but we're going to come back for the penalty.
Yeah, just a dangerous arm, dangerous tackle from Leone, the loose head Perth Spirit. Copped him fair around the jaw there. And the big Leone, the big arm on him, would have caused him a bit of trouble. But this Queensland Country side, all the possession, all the ball, 83%. Well, sure.
Perth Spirit have not yet completed a ruck or a maul. After 11 minutes of play, that is extraordinary. But Queensland Country, they've got to make it count here. Camped on the 22 of the Perth Spirit. And their width on the passing here. Paoa now goes short to Parisi, who is upended by one of the harder hitters, Kateka, but he gets it away. Scoble looks to be off his feet there, and that is the call from Jordan Way, our referee.
What do you do? Do you take the points or you keep the pressure on, bang it in the corner?
Ben Robinson, have you not been watching NRC in the last 3 years?
Definite.
I'll remind you that penalties are worth 2 points. You don't kick for goal. In fact, I don't think we have not seen a penalty goal attempt in one of our broadcast matches this year, and I can't remember one last either.
No, well, Connor Mitchell puts it in the corner. The thing with this, you're 12 minutes gone, 0 points. You want to make sure that all this pressure turns into points.
Starts with Casey. He's got great targets in Rodder and Potgieter. He goes to the ladder. Nice take from Phil. Potgieter. The counter mauling is excellent though from the Perth Spirit initially. Now Casey gets in there. Same maul as a call. It is stopped well by the Spirit. Third. Jarred and sent back to where he came was Paoa. Now his centre partner Parisi's got to scoot back. Dummy's good from Fines, and he steals a couple of cheap meters in close, but Kateka pounced and stole it back for the Spirit. Finally, they get ball in hand. And there is the first ruck they've completed after 13 minutes of play. Shoots out the back and into touch, and we'll have a Queensland Country throw. Again, the ball goes to the men in the dark blue.
Benny Tapwhite tries to get a little offload here. Just a little bit off. McNamara couldn't hold on to that. This scrum, what I really like about these boys is the body height. And as I was saying before, Sean, these conditions are great. The deck is looking amazing. So the boys can get their height very low in this scrum. Not too much of a difference in back weights there, or front row weights.
Queensland Country do use theirs well, though. One of the best scrums in the competition, and they lock it down there to provide Lefau with nice front foot ball. Peawa pulls it off Lefau, and then he grasses it, and it goes to the Perth Spirit danger man. Who? Whoa! There's a little bit of Sunday Arvo slam for you. Parisi has laid out Benny Tapuahi. Oh, mama!
Look at this, and Benny Tapuai is not an easy man to bring down. But Parisi, look at that. Ball and all, great hit. Got up with a smile on his face. Benny Tapuai. Start to the game. 15.5 minutes gone. Queensland Country need to convert all this pressure into points. Maybe go for a kick, a goal. What do you reckon, Mr. Maloney?
Negative. Here comes a wait from Queensland Country, looking to turn the screws. They get the penalty advantage here, and on they march, taking some extra metres. They'll come back though and settle.
Yeah, very impressive scrum from Queensland Country. Was saying this year their scrum, their set piece has been a very strong point. Alex Casey, the hooker, getting his scrum right on point. Said that body height there. Kieran Sanday, the tight head for Queensland Country. There's Mitch third, bangs it into the corner, and it's gone too far.
Oh no. That is so poor from the boot.
The coach killer.
No, it's worse than that. It's a whole team killer. They've done all the hard work to give themselves such great field position. Their forward pack have won the penalty, and then the fly half gets the angles all wrong, kicking for touch.
It's normally a basic skill that even the best. We've seen Bernard Foley struggle a few times to put it into the corner.
Oh, another strong bit of contact. That time round it was Parisi on the receiving end. Third to Peawa, who switches to Casey. Fangasi steadies it in midfield. Third, Banks. Rodder lays it off the hip there to Sanday, and now finds. It's tucked in field to Parisi. He was clipped by Kateka, and another big shot coming. That one off the shoulders of Eric Vasu Kithakau.
Am I seeing what I'm seeing at the moment? How about this? The massive hits. Parisi, doesn't he love it? He's in absolutely everything at the moment. The defensive line of both sides, Perth and Queensland, are just coming up, and they're loving it at the moment. For our viewers at home, look at some of these hits. Oosh, ball and all. That's why we love rugby so much. Still, scores are tied, 18 minutes gone.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
All solid contact, and Queensland Country come away with it. They went on quickly from Peawa. He found Tapuahi, and we're going to go back for the initial knock on. Now, Nick McArdle, well, he's set up camp in Perth across the last week, taking in the Wallabies and Los Pumas game last night, and he's doing all the hard stuff for a sideline today at UWA. Nick, who are these conditions favouring, fella?
Oh, well, I'm not sure they're favouring either side at the moment, or you might suggest they're favouring Queensland Country. You put in context the lead into this game and the form line, so it's incredible that Perth have had to do so much defensive work. Queensland Country, they need to come away with points though, don't they, Shawnee? Just for their self-belief.
Spot on, Nick. It has been a struggle for them to put minutes on minutes in the NRC this year. They've been good in parts, and when they're on, they have been extremely dangerous. But maintaining that, the duration has been an issue, and that's why they find themselves without a win. But here with a mountain of possession and looking to post the first points of this one, they get it wrong with McNamara grasping it down the far side.
Yeah, it's those little small errors that are really killing them at the moment, Queensland Country. Talking about their defence, they're the worst defence so far in this competition. Conceding the most points, 134, and most line breaks, 37. But their attack is looking red hot at the moment. Hold on a few more of those balls, rack up a few points, and Perth might be in trouble here.
This is a fourth straight game that the Spirit have not conceded a point in the opening 20 minutes, so that speaks volumes of their defensive work early on.
Crouch.
And they've been forced to withstand tons of pressure from this Queensland Country outfit after 21 minutes of play.
We're too close. Too close to the setup.
Jordan Way having a chat with the front rowers. A bit too close were his words. It's quite a unique start to a Buildcorp NRC game.
No
0
points.
apiece, 22 minutes
Well, we
gone.
saw the same last week with Queensland Country and the Rays going at it at Bond University. It was 0-0 through 20 minutes of play before opening up. So with that injury to David Pocock, you see Ben McCalman, the Perth Spirit number 8, as the straight swap. Ben Robinson?
Yeah, for sure. I think after the performance last night against Los Pumas, with Dean Mumm receiving his 50th cap, I think what Michael Checker likes is a player like Ben McCalman who brings that physical presence. Big Benny, the Warren boy, you should see his brother. His brother is about 20 kilos heavier, and he is a big, strong man.
Bind.
Older or younger?
Set.
Older brother.
Lance across to Tapuahi after the early exit from Bill Meeks. Not a bad replacement, Tapuahi.
Outside 10. Outside.
McNamara trying to fit his own kick, can't do so. Caleb Petty runs bang into Scott Young. Hyphenated names clash, lovely pop ball there. Finally, the Perth Spirit have some ball and field position to work with. What can they do with it? Queensland Country unable to cross after dominating at the other end of the field in terms of possession. Now for the man in the gold and black to have a go. Lance. Lovely offloading, and then eventually the pass to Braki misses the mark, but we're playing penalty advantage there, so we're going to come all the way back. Penalty against Angus Scott Young for not retreating outside the 10 after that high ball from McNamara, so I'll get another swing at it here, the Perth Spirit.
Yeah, it's good to see Benny McCallum making a big carry down the left-hand side and getting on the front foot. There's Jono Lance, points to the corner. I think you have a replacement like Benny Tapwhite come on. That's got that great left foot boot.
That is speaking of boots, that is a mongrel of a kick from Jono Lance. That was horrible from Jono.
At least that one's into touch. Jono Lance there is a great ambassador for the game. Been at the Waratahs for a few years, but now playing in Perth.
And he shone for the Western Force early in Super Rugby this year before doing a pec muscle mischief. And that ruled him out for a number of weeks, so that ruled that, but he showed through the early stages of the year that he's an accustomed and accomplished fly half, good to go at the Super Rugby level. His forwards let him down on this occasion, though. He won't get another touch as Queensland Country pull it back and then kick it down to the halfway line. In fact, we'll go way back just past the 22 where Queensland Country have found touch, and it'll be a Perth Spirit throw pretty much right on the 22. Scoble to Haylett Petty. Down it comes to Lance. Jono Lance spinning past two defenders. The pick and go inside from Havili.
Leave now, 7.
Takes play 8 short. That pass to nobody. Tapuahi driving through the line. Tapuahi gets past 5 or 6. They got them racked and stacked to the right and left. They go inside. And the first try of the game goes to the Perth Spirit big man.
And great carry to set up the try there. Then he tapped wide as Jono Lance makes a break here. Impressive stuff. And Tapuai.
It was Tapuahi blasting through. He sets it up here, and then Vui picks and goes and touches down for the first try of the game.
Great tight head try there. About a metre out from the line. As Jono Lance bangs over the 2 points. Perth 8 points to 0 against Queensland Country. As a tight head goes over for his first try of the game.
Well, Nick, not a bad start from Perth Spirit. Their one entry into the Queensland Country 22, and they come away with 8 big ones.
Inside.
And Vui scoring his first ever NRC game. Try.
Queensland Country float along. That's knocked down. That'll be a penalty against Perth Spirit. We saw yellow cards handed out for that kind of carry on yesterday and a week previous. This time around,
Yeah, I think he had a genuine crack at that. Though, Matuto. Yeah, we don't want to see any cynical or foul play in this game, but I thought he was genuinely having a crack at that.
No, but what I'm saying is we saw guys having a crack last week and they ended up in the bin as a result. So still some work to do on that front from our officials. Have a chat to ref boss Scotty Young tomorrow. We'll just get that cleared up, Benny. He loves to chat laws. Parisi, he loves to chat pace and footwork because he's got tons of it. And he goes inside the 22 for Queensland Country, looking to strike back for Angassi out the back. Lovely ball that in front of Katie, gets rocked by Jono Lance. Hits him midships and puts the big guy flat on his back. Now Lowrens, box kicking over the top, and that's going to stay in the field of play. There's a good chase coming as well, and getting back to tidy up his banks to McNamara. Oh, another big shoulder lurking, but McNamara holds his feet nicely. Scott Young, Parisi again. Cannot keep this kid out of the play. What's he got cooking here? Parisi, that's gone back, but unfortunately it's caught a boot and hopped into the hands of the Perth Spirit. They'll go through Morahan. Lawrence, he's quick, and he floats that one over the top to McCalman. Shovels past McNamara, throws him out the side, and Perth Spirit in possession, 40 from home.
No 7!
Lance, he got this started with a huge hit back down the field. That is a shocking pass, and hops into touch. It'll be a Queensland Country line-out throw.
I'm going to ask, I'm not out of the loop here about these two teams at the moment. Where are these hits coming from? Is there
This is
a genuine
standard.
hatred?
Oh, this is standard, mate. Jono Lance. Oh, yes.
Another 10 putting down a front rower. I wouldn't say that is too standard.
Well, it is when Jono Lance is involved. He's one of the hardest hitters in the comp. Benny,
Yeah.
you should know. You played Super Rugby with him at the
I
Waratahs.
wouldn't
You
say
played
he's one of
against
the
him.
biggest hitters. I think he's one of the most talented players in the comp.
Look at this, the footwork from Payawa. And now with fines. Great work from Queensland Country. Scott Young is put down eventually, and now Payawa hits it low. An effectual kick from Payawa. So much better with ball in hand. So is this guy Morahan. Stabs ahead. Morahan kicks for himself, hoping for the bounce. Morahan, he's a long-range try specialist. And he nails down another 6 points for the Perth Spirit.
Yeah, that's all class there for Morahan. The chip and chase, the regather. It's just too easy, too simple for that man on screen. His 5th NRC try. An absolute talent. You see players who just simply do it too easy. Bit of footwork, chip, chase, the speed, the pace, the regather, and can score a long-range try. That is definitely no fluke. That man's talent works very hard at that.
Remember Luke Morahan scoring one of the tries of 2013 against the British and Irish Lions at Suncorp. Do you remember that one, Benny? In the wet?
No,
Similar, kicking ahead for himself, looking for a bounce, grabbing it and then scoring. The kick is good, and it's 16-zip. Morahan keeps the locals happy as the sun starts to break through here at UWA. We are at the Gilvray Oval in Perth for round 4 action in the NRC, and they're happy, the locals, with their team clear by 2 converted tries.
Perth City be very happy with the Wallabies win last night. Plenty of rugby on show in the West.
Seven out!
Tapuahi slams plenty to that one, and it scoots downfield into the arms of Banks, who goes across to third to McNamara. McNamara stands beautifully in the tackle and goes back to third. Now with fines. Who's with fines? He had Scott Young inside and Payawa outside, and eventually he finds Payawa. Here's Casey. Good work down that far touchline from the hooker. Postal. Struggling through a couple of defenders. Fines to Scott Young. They rush up and pin him.
Leave now!
Fungusy has to juggle it, and that makes him easy pickings for Vui, who scored the opening try here. Postal again, gets past Havili. Scott Young again. A couple of huge units meeting in the midfield there. Finds dummies. Now goes to Parisi, look out. Vasuki Thakau was loitering around and looking to do some damage.
Great defence here from Perth Spirit.
Scott Young, Fungusy.
4 hands off!
Postal again, he clears the pass to third. Wonderful D from the gold and black, and they've turned it as well.
Leave now, 14.
Lance looking for touch and catches plenty of that. You heard the shout. Good nudge. Spot on, Jono.
Perth Spirit captain going it deep into touch. Back deep in his own line there, but as a defender in the line, you see players either side of you have that confidence to get up and make the tackle, which Perth City are doing. Spirit, sorry, are doing in spades at the moment.
Across it comes to Banks. Banks to Lefau. Lefau. Basketball pass back over to Banks. That's knocked back from Lance. That's play on Parisi. On the spot to bring it in for Queensland Country. They need a scrum half there to clear the pass. Postal, he's wrapped up. He tries to retain possession, but it pops out the side to McCalman. McCalman finds a running Tapawahi. Tapawahi has a couple inside, but opts for the boot, puts it ahead. Paoa's going back, and herring after him is Lowrens, who makes the tackle. Lowrens drills him back across the try line. Carried back will be the call, and that will be a 5-metre scrum feed to Perth, and they have taken it nearly 100.
Great work from Benny McCalman. Sees the ball shoot out. He's not the speed man. Passes it to the Benny Tapawai. He throws it on his left foot. Great kick, great pressure from Lowrens there to get him over the line. And we have a scrum 5 metres out. As we're saying, Sean, 100-metre just about turnaround from Perth Spirit. Queensland Country with 4 minutes left on the clock, still battling to get some points.
Thrown so much at the Perth Spirit side as well, who've turned them at every corner. Just wonder if Benny Tapawahi might have kept the ball in hand then. A couple of runners inside, he went for the boot.
Not a bad option with the scrum 5 metres out.
See if he can convert his charge here. One off from Jono Lance, who has possession now and switches. Looking to exhaust to the right.
4 out of there!
McCalman. McCalman pops beautifully to Ross Taylor-Petty. It's a classy back row, and they combine there for another try. The Perth Spirit are in cruise control.
Yeah, Benny McCalman, his second NRC try. And how about the footwork of the man? As a defender, you look up, you see him, you go, oh, look out. And then the great offload to Haylett Petty. Great stuff.
Good weekend for the Haylett Petties. Brother Dane bagged a superb 5-pointer last night. 6 points today for Roscoe. So we'll call it a win for that man on screen there. Grabbed his second try last night against Argentina. Dane Haylett Petty from memory. After a wonderful set-piece move at NIB Stadium, Perth, the home of the Haylett Petty boys. And now Lance chasing, chasing a ball, pop back on the tee and have a shot at the additional 2.
He's been kicking well tonight.
Hell of a haircut on Roscoe.
You've got 5 seconds, you're going to have to go quickly.
You can go the drop goal.
And it's a shocker. It's a shocker. Might be time to get the bit of work done on the kicking tee there. Benny Robinson. He can afford a smile. His team are doing it nicely at the moment. They are up by 22 points against Queensland Country.
Queensland Country got to wonder what have they done wrong. All this possession, no points.
Excellent take from Stringer. Kateka. He's made some key turnovers for his side in defence today. Kane Kateka. Tapawahi, good hands. Kicking for the flyer. Vasuki Thakau and Braki combining. Tap away dummies. Now gets it over the top to Morahan. Try number 2. Hang on a second. He's been held up.
Oh,
He was in for all money. He was in. Braki wants him to have a look.
That's not held.
What a try saver on Morahan.
What about the hands? Does he get it down? He deserves to, but no, I don't think he does.
Fines. Came from the clouds to shut that one down.
Be last play.
They're not out of trouble just yet. It'll be a 5-metre scrum and feed to the Perth Spirit, looking to make it a 30-point margin just before the break.
Some impressive stuff from the Perth backline. Some aerial jumping, good passing, great hands. Just couldn't get it down.
Vasuki Thakau was a star performer for the Spirit last week, and we're seeing a couple of his weapons on display just there in that run of play as well. McCalman picks from the back, goes to Lowrens. Lowrens spins past 1 or 2. Lance overran it. It was going to be the old 8, 9, 10. Now still with the Perth Spirit. I think it's Taylor Petty with 2 tries in the space of 2 minutes. He is all smiles. Ross, Haylett, Petty.
And the big man, his second try today. Too big, too strong. You run a hard, strong angle like that, it's very hard to defend. And Perth Spirit, 28 points to zip. As we go into the halftime break, as Jono Lance goes for a kick at goal from the tee.
Jono Lance, no issues with the Gilbert staying steady this time round, and this to make it 30 points to 0 from point blank.
Shot.
Welcome back to McGillivray Oval in Perth, where it is the Perth Spirit up against Queensland Country, and the home team currently lead by 30. Sean Maloney in commentary alongside former Waratah and Wallaby Ben Robinson, and it was an impressive 40 minutes of play from the Perth Spirit.
Yeah, Perth looking very good in that first half, putting 30 points on after so much pressure from Queensland Country.
So some changes already from Todd Ikefi, the Queensland Country coach. He has brought Jimmy Tuttle on the field, replacing Isaac Fines at scrum half, and here's Lafau, put down by the man who has 2 tries to his name today, Haylett Petty. And here's some muscle on the field for Queensland Country, Taniela Tupou. But Tom Thor is in the house. Parisi.
A bad replacement, is he?
17 off!
He'll work. Potgieter. Havili pounced there. It was a little isolated Potgieter, and Havili did the rest. Here's Lowrens kicking for himself, trying to outpace Tuttle to the line. Lowrens does it all himself! Great try. No, a stunning try for Ryan Lowrens. He grabs his right shoulder, but the 6 points are on the board, and Perth Spirit pick right up.
Yeah, great stuff there from the number 9. He's holding onto his shoulder. Looks like he might have had a bit of an issue scoring that try, but he'll remember that one for a long time.
Yeah, I'm trying to judge my...
Great stuff. Quick tap into a little chip and chase, and the speed in the put down in Perth. With only 2 minutes into this second half, over already.
Weighted the chip perfectly and rode McNamara and Banks into the turf to grab the try, and now gets up a little gingerly to the right of your screens there, with Lance lining up the conversion attempt. He throws that one through, and it's now 38-0 as he just checks the damage done. Perhaps just a little stinger. He looks keen to get on with it, Ryan Lowrens, and he will. He will jump straight back into the play.
It's normally an AC check on the doctors there. He's looking impressive.
Good to go.
So Ben McCalman's day is done, no doubt. His involvements will have impressed Wallabies coach Michael Checker. Lance carries past the 22, looking to just muscle it out of their danger zone here, the Perth Spirit. Lowrens likely to box hit. No, not with Vui going through the middle. Now Lance across to Tapawahi, bullets it across the field to Maruato, across to Braki, and the two flyers combined down the far touchline. There's the Fijian Vasuki Thakau kicking ahead, and now they swarm in and make the tackle. Tuttle's back for Queensland Country. Sends it back, and then it's in turn knocked in a touch. A big result there for Perth Spirit. Happy to play with lots of width coming out of their danger zone.
Yeah, they're absolutely relentless at the moment. They're doing no wrong. Some great carries. Their backs are stepping up. And great, making some great yards. This Queensland countryside struggling in this game, as we have a good look at the big man, the Thor. He'll be looking to make an impact in his second half.
I often wonder what size pants Canela wears, what size waist he's got. I've got him at about a 46.
I'd say they're custom, I reckon.
You reckon?
Very hungry shorts.
Maybe 48. Maybe size 48 waist, because you look at those pins and they need some wiggle room. Okay, here comes Vui.
No 18!
Hit by Tupou. Lowrens, Lance, Tapawahi, no look. Inside to Vasuki Thakau. A knock there from Perth Spirit will help relieve some of this pressure being heaped on Queensland Country.
You see Benny Tapawahi, the confidence that these backs have, the no-look pass on the inside. They're full of flair. They're full of passion at the moment. This Spirit backline. And so they should be. With 38 points already in this game, they're looking very good.
Coach, can you just test? Yeah, I got you. Crouch! Bind!
Carsten, get those kids off that
Set.
ball in case they do some damage, mate. Yeah, I've just...
Kiteka playing at number 8. The lovely inside ball to Braki. Open run to the line, and he does the rest. Braki's in for the Spirit, and they push it out to 44.
Yeah, too easy from Perth Spirit there. Jono Lance, a great inside ball to Braki. Where were the defenders? They're really tearing this Queensland Country side apart. Great inside ball from Lance to Braki. And no one's stopping that man with his speed.
Yeah, I got you.
From that far out.
Braki with a breakout year in Super Rugby this season. He'd gone something like 40 games of Super Rugby without a try. Played against the Sunwolves over in Tokyo, I think it was, and scored a hat-trick for the Western Force. It was some kind of a day at the Prince Chibu Stadium. That's a long way from where we are today at the Gilray Oval in Perth, the grounds of UWA. Great deck. There's Quade Cooper alongside his better half, most definitely better half. Taking a little NRC action.
It's good to see Quade back in the gold jersey.
He's played well.
Some exceptional football.
He played well last night. carries it on. 30 up from his line. Now Tapuahi pushes it further away into the arms of Banks. Banks straightens. He always loves to accelerate into contact and more often than not gets his nose through the line. He's hot geeter.
Entry. Not a tackle.
And Jordan Way getting the Perth boys with incorrect entry. This Perth side's been absolutely relentless in this first 47 minutes. Queensland Country with all the possession in the first half.
Stop.
Nothing to show for it. And what can they do here?
So just to recap, if you haven't been across the results of the NRC this weekend, early today, the Vikings hung on to win by 6 against the Western City Rams down in Canberra. They played slow roll the Rams. They're knocking on the door for their first win of the season. Carisi. Yesterday, the New South Wales Country Eagles remained undefeated. Here's Rodder rolling the Rays.
Advantage.
In our broadcast game yesterday, Melbourne Rising put it to Brisbane City in a big win, which leaves us with one game to decide. But at the moment, clear by 46. The Perth Spirit look to have that one in the bag. Now just a matter of how far they can extend that lead by.
Yeah, a lot of penalties going against Perth at the moment, really pushing the envelope around the breakdown. The defensive line. Queensland Country. There's Mitch third, throws it into touch, and there's Parisi. Not good seeing him down. He's been absolutely standout this
22.
afternoon.
Stop.
I'll give you some numbers around what Zay Parisi's done. 16 runs for 127 metres. Look at those numbers. 13 tackle busts. Are you kidding me? That is enormous.
That 127 metres, if you reach 100 and you're the backs, that's a massive game. It's only been 50 minutes.
13 tackle busts. Awesome for the 19-year-old.
That's one, Storm. 7!
Tuttle demands his forwards march it on.
They could be in trouble here.
And unfortunately for Tuttle, Perth Spirit have got a good grip on that one and have shut down Kaitu'u, and it'll be their feet to the scrum.
And it's great work from the Perth boys. As soon as that ball hits the deck, it's been called a maul. You can lay all over the top of that, as Havili was doing right there. Scrums have been a really even affair this afternoon. Nice clean ball. Referee Jordan Way doing a great job.
Crouch.
Adjudicating.
Bind. Set.
Big scrum from Queensland Country looking to pin Perth Spirit back. The ball pops out the back, so they'll have a chance to clear here, Perth Spirit, and it'll be Lowrance digging it out, going back in the pocket, and that won't find touch, or will it? Just shy of the 22.
Saying there's been an even affair in the scrum. When you have a player like Tupu come off the bench, he throws a bit of weight into that scrum.
135 kilos into that scrum. Daniel Tupou. Scott Young blows through the middle of the line out. Rolls on and grabs a couple extra metres. Out it comes to third. Payawa.
No goal!
Is on the field and he made the tackle there. Rodder. Tecker looking for the steal, can't get it. Third. Not much doing on this short side with McNamara, the one and only man. Potgieter is high, and then Kaituu knocks on as he looks to rip it back in contact.
Yeah, this Perth side have got their defensive line absolutely humming at the moment.
Yep.
There's confidence from every single player across the board.
3 goals.
Well, Perth Spirit over the last couple of weeks starting to emerge as potential title contenders as well. Let's get down now to Nick McCardle. Nick, what do you got for us?
Got Quade Cooper with me. Shawnee, plenty of interest for Quade in this one. Some former Reds teammates with the Perth side and some future Reds teammates on the Queensland Country side.
Yeah, mate, it's good to be out here and especially see my former teammates doing well. Luke Morahan and Ben Tapwai playing really well. Yeah, hopefully be able to lure them back to the Reds one day. And also seeing some of the future Reds showing their talent.
And how did you pull up, and how did the team pull up after last night? What was an outstanding effort against Argentina?
Yeah, mate, the boys, a few bumps and bruises. I think Poey's hurt his hand, so he might be out for a little bit. But otherwise, pretty good. And boys are slowly gaining confidence after the back-to-back wins.
Nice way to finish, wasn't it, in terms of the domestic test season? 2 wins. Sort of redemption, I guess, and now you get to go away to South Africa. To beat South Africa in Pretoria, that'd be pretty special too.
Yeah, very special. I know that the last time I played in Pretoria was a very high-scoring game, and we just went down narrowly. So looking forward to playing over there. And obviously for us, our last test on home soil was good to basically send the supporters out with a good win, and hopefully we continue to gain their support.
Good stuff, mate. We'll get back to it.
Huge scrum there from Queensland Country, third. Now Tuttle pops it inside, and they are close to scoring their first point to the afternoon here. Queensland Country, Kaituu.
Tackle roll! Advantage.
Scott Young ups and goes again. Tupou lets it slide to the back. Rodder.
New advantage, number 4 again.
Kaituu again. Perth Spirit hang on desperately here. Scott Young, it's scrappy at the back, and we're going to have Kieran Stringer off to the bin. Number 4 for the Perth Spirit cops the yellow card, and they'll pack another scrum. It has started to bear some real fruit for them in the last little bit.
Yeah, repeated infringements there as the Perth boys lose the player. And after some big scrums from Queensland Country, Shawnee Maloney, we've got a big scrum 5 metres out, 8 against 7.
Yeah, I think Queensland Country will be happy just to lock this one down after struggling when they pushed it wide. It's close to the line. Got to remember, Benny, through the first 10 minutes of play,
Crouch.
Perth Spirit
Bind.
did not have the ball. They didn't make a single tackle. Queensland Country rather didn't make a single tackle.
Well, those 2 points might be looking good at the moment.
Negative.
Advantage.
Penalty advantage, there it is. Scott Young peels to the open side.
Gold hold.
Tupou driving at the line.
Short, play it.
Oh, he's inches shy of the line. They go again. This time round, they nail it. It's Kaituu with the try. And finally, Queensland Country are on the board.
Yeah, some great work from Tupou, the big man. I think those forwards have realised that the way forward is up front. It's Kaituu goes over for the try. The replacement hooker comes on.
18.
And Queensland Country, all the possession in the first half for no points.
Let's keep our bind long. That last one,
And with 15 minutes gone in the second half, the replacement hooker comes on, Kaituu, and gets their first try of the game.
Conversion, as you'd expect, from point blank. Under the dot is good, and it's 46-8.
8 points, 46-8.
An absolutely entertaining afternoon of rugby. Plenty of tries, plenty of action, plenty of big hits.
Some booming shots going in during that first half in particular.
Decent crowd over in Perth.
Such a beautiful ground, this.
It's where the Wallabies normally train.
Parisi, just another carry to throw on the stats column for Parisi. Kaitu'u, the most recent try scorer, charges into Ian Pryor. Tuttle. Mason on the field as well. Oh, look out. Scott Young was hustled into making a quick ball there. Try to get
Tackle!
They do well to hang on to it. Mason again.
Hands all over that.
Kateka has been such a threat of the breakdown. He's a great on-baller. And now Taylor Petty leaping into the tackle for Hungasi. Looping ball to the left. Scoble. Lance, super flat ball to Hayla Petty, chasing a hat-trick of tries. Dropped, 5 shy of the line. Jono Lance to Morahan, nope. He finds Pa'awa instead, and Pa'awa is going to have a clear run to the line. Morahan is flying after him, dives, makes the ankle tap, but can't shut down the try scored by Duncan Pa'awa.
Pa'awa, the cramp, the 100-metre run. And how about that run also from Moran to actually chase him down? Jono Lance with a big cut ball into the hands to the big man, to the run down the sideline.
Morahan came from a mile back.
Yeah, gotcha.
Did a great job even to get his hands on the boots of Pa'awa, who grimaces, but he has another try to his name. Pa'awa and Parisi in the centres have been outstanding for Queensland Country today. 46-14 the score. Kick to come here from Mac Mason from out wide, and he just tugs at a touch, so score stays 46-14 with a 32-point margin between the Perth Spirit and Queensland Country.
That centre combination have had 26 carries between them. They're bearing a lot of the running this afternoon.
Lance again goes deep with a restart, and down it goes into the arms of Lafau. Mason. Potgata trucks it up. Good hands from Kaitu'u across to Pa'awa. Pa'awa shifts in field, goes back to Kaitu'u, who bumps into and out of the tackle there of Lance. Perth Spirit fly in at the breakdown and turn it, and will have a chance of their own here through Erasmus.
13 off!
Box kick from Lowrens. He's looking a little wider, but McNamara's got that well covered. Braki. It's an easy tack for Braki. Puts him down, then ups and looks for the turnover. Can't get his hands on it, and Queensland Country come away through Tuttle. Great take from Morahan there. Sunk at the hips and scooped it up. Morahan. Ups to Lance. The old Queensland Reds teammates now with the Western Force. Here's
Advantage.
Vasu Kithakau, who went without. Now Banks.
Play last week.
Mason just overran it. A touch on the outside here. Comes Lefau. He needs some help. Gets Mason now. Mason off the hip to Ryder. This guy's a talent. To McNamara. McNamara goes back in field. This is going to be the try of the game. Wonderful score that from Jack Cornelson. Queensland Country, they're cooked in this one, but that was a special 6-pointer.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff from Queensland Country. As the replacement, Jack Cornelson comes on the back of some great handling here from Queensland Country. Some good offloads, some entertaining carries, entertaining rugby. And where was this in the first half?
Sure, they did well. McNamara to hold his feet. The new man on the field, Cornelson, did the rest. He's really growing into it. Jack Cornelson, son of Wallaby Great. Kick is good too from Mason. And that makes it a 24-point game.
As we've seen in a lot of these NRC games, you cannot write any team off. You have tries like that from 70 metres out. We know we're in for an entertaining afternoon of rugby.
Hey, let's stay alive here, guys. Because it's obviously they're picking up. So
This Perth side are looking a little bit slow at the moment. All that defending in the first half really takes it out of you. Yeah, they're probably just waiting for Kieran to go back onto the field.
Three converted tries, the margin. Parisi. Lovely ball to McNamara, who had a strong hand in that last try. If only Queensland Country could string it together for the full 80, they would be closer to the top of the table than the bottom. Morahan. Ainsley. Made his Super Rugby debut this year, Jermaine Ainsley, and that is a kick that is pinpoint.
An absolute ripper of a kick, that one. Ala Toomey, I think it shows the strategy of these Perth boys. Put the pressure back on Queensland with some tactical kicking. If you can kick like that, I'm definitely all for that.
Well, you're up by 46, 1 minute, and then you cop 3 tries on the chin. Maybe that is the play. Then Robinson just to steady the flow against. Parisi gets some attention. Great take from Rodder. And carrying 2 defenders to the ground is Tupou to open the angle up for Mason, and he does the rest. Finding touch nicely. That is clinical on the exit from Queensland Country.
Parisi looks like he's getting a bit of attention.
Four.
He's been absolutely standout this afternoon.
Well, they've been trying to manage his minutes, haven't they, Benny, over the opening rounds of the competition, drip feeding him back into the game after he spent so much time out with injury. He's Tupou on the hunt for that one on the ground. Ainsley reads it in the 18 for Perth Spirit. Moves away with it. Erasmus. Timu, Lance, pops it inside, finds Lefau. Mason. Potgieter. One locked on, and we will pack a scrum. The Spirit hustling hard in D there and forcing the turnover.
Yeah, working very hard once again. Perth Spirit on their defensive line. It's good to see their bench working so well. Rasmus and the big man Ainsley, the tight head, coming on there as well. I think as a coach, you'd want to see those players pick up the tempo of the game those bench players and not to slow it down. And we're seeing that from both sides at the moment.
Bind!
One thing, we haven't seen much of Jordan Way, the referee, which is a good thing. He's really been letting the play be free and open. 68 points scored already with about 13 minutes to go. It's always good to see that entertaining open style of play.
Crouch!
Got a terrific little highlights package in the can ready to showcase you folks of Isaiah Parisi, the 19-year-old wonder that we just saw on screen there. We'll get to that in just a second. It's a little beaut. Pryor. Alatimu. That's big from one of our top. First up tackle. Tackler was sent right back.
Hands off 18!
Stringer squeezes it out the back. Kateka. He's been awesome today, Kateka. Pryor, box kicking for Braki over that far side, and that hops in a touch, beats Parisi and co to the chalk, and it will be a Queensland Country throw to the line out.
And once again, sticking that dagger much deeper
13,
in the
blood.
Queensland Country. He's got a stinger there, showing that left arm.
It doesn't worry this kid. He's keen just to hang around. He'll go get some attention. Tough to get him off the field. Just got a little blood complaint.
Good to go.
Through the effects, Mike.
Time's on.
Kotu'u to the back, and it's stolen by the Perth Spirit. Kiteka to Havili. Havili buys some time for his support runners to get in and around. They clean it out well. Now a couple of front rowers going about their work. Kiteka, one off Havili, who has another charge. And tight they come. Good work in tight from Queensland Country. Stringer, he's sat back down by Scott Young.
Backwards.
Backwards is the call, and Perth Spirit edge that little bit closer.
No hands!
Havili at the back.
Advantage, slowing the ball down.
Ainsley in position as well. Havili
Backwards.
slides it back. Here's Ainsley. Pryor. Timu goes out the back. Lance Morahan. Morahan, it doesn't come much easier for the Moz. And he now has 2 tries in this one, as well as Haley Petty.
Yeah, great work from the forwards there to set up that try. And Luke Morahan, his second try of the afternoon. This Perth Spirit backline is a special backline. Some great communication. Jono Lance, great shift to Morahan. Off the right foot, too easy. As Perth rack up the half century. 52 points. With 70 minutes gone with the kick to come.
Jono Lance under our kick graphic, and it's a big one because he's had a number of shots at goal, and that one's good. 54-22, Morahan, the try scorer there. His second career double in the NRC. The run meters are stacked so heavily against Perth Spirit, but they are the ones doing all the damage.
Yeah, they definitely are.
No.
More heavy D getting served up by Queensland Country. Yeah, nice little highlights reel off the back of this game. Some excellent tries and some booming shots as well. Banks is always brilliant in the backfield. He's looking to get around the D. Banks Still going, Banks. Now pops in field. It comes back for Tupou. Tupou, whoa, see you later. Tosses away Havili. Mason kicking across the field to McNamara, and he has overhit that one.
Yeah, just a little bit too much on that. Saw the space at the side there. Sort of been the story of Queensland Country's afternoon, hasn't it? As we have a good look at Banks. Tell you what, you're pretty courageous to try and go around a Fijian on the outside there, but he does it.
Half you're outside. No, you're outside. Outside 22.
Pryor these nicely. Down to McNamara and Banks. Pincus. Off the bench and into the fray. Fangasi. Looked to be offside there at Perth Spirit. McNamara holds a pass up beautifully for Kaitu Cornelson. A couple of try scorers hanging around together down this left-hand touchline. Mason. Scott Young. Third. Ball to pass across to Lafau.
19.
Mason. Propping
Midfield,
and popping
Cooks.
to Fangasi.
New advantage, 19.
Mason out in front of McNamara, slides inside and now steps on the accelerator, and Mason does the rest. Queensland Country are stringing together some fantastic six-pointers here at UWA.
It's more like it from Queensland Country. Very impressive in this second half. 30 points. There's Mac Mason, 10 points for the day.
This must be so frustrating for Queensland Country coaches, Todd Kefu and Brad Thorne, because this is what they're capable of, Queensland Country. We've seen them do it to some highly fancy teams in the competition. They carved up the Rising a couple of weeks back. They put it to the Rays for large parts last week. They had all the ball in the first half but could not convert. If they had of, this one may have gone a different way. They came into the game as huge outsiders, but just seeing these last couple of tries, Ben Robinson, they can really get it humming.
Yeah, if I was Todd Kefu, I'd say that you'd be impressed with his performance, but not quite there yet, are they?
Thank you.
A couple of key moments where they were turned over on the hunt for points in the first half that have really come back to hurt them. Just the 3 converted tries, a difference now between the two sides. They go quickly here through Morahan, who gets around a couple. Morahan explodes away and gets 1, 2, 3 tries in the West.
Yes, great stuff from Morahan there. He's been a star performer this afternoon. That experience is really paying off. The quick throw, looks up, sees some space, and his speed does the rest. Luke Morahan, his 3rd try this afternoon. He is a star performer and a reason why they're looking so good this afternoon.
His first try, still the pick of them, landing that one from around 70 metres out, kicking ahead for himself and then exploding away. That not too bad either from Morahan. His second was a simple put down off a quality ball from John O'Lance, but Morahan, he is flying for the moment, and so too are the Perth Spirit. 60-30 with a kick to come. Lance, that one off his boot stays to the right, and the score stays with the Perth Spirit double that of Queensland Country.
You can tell the talent of a player when he just has so much time on his hands, it just does it so easy.
The top he goes, knock-on advantage against Queensland Country, and we'll pack a scrum.
Avenge.
Be a Perth Spirit feed, and they'll look to go long range again and add a little bit of sugar to that scoreline that reads 60-30. 90 points in 77 minutes of play. Not bad.
I'd say it's very impressive, 90 points within 77 minutes. You're a Perth Spirit supporter, you'd be very impressed.
Crouch.
Both their forwards and their backs.
Bind. Set.
Huge shove from Queensland Country. They win the tight head. Third try here would make that long trip back to QLD
Tackle
a
release.
little easier to cop. Tuttle.
Stay out. Thank you. Good now.
Great hands from Tupou onto his front row partner, Fungusy. He came from Fungusy to Mason. Delayed switch to Potgieter. Mason again. Oh no, Mason has popped it beautifully, but he's found a black and gold jersey when he was chasing the blue. Banks getting back, trying to get Maduato. Won't do so. And the Perth Spirit make it 66. They go Route 66 with a couple to run.
Oh, Route 66. 66 points to 30 as Matuatu, the speedster, his 7th NRC try. Just lack of communication here. But you put that ball in that man's hands and he's got speed, he's got pace.
That's my job.
It was a great chase from Banks, though, to almost reel him in. Pincus and Mason couldn't combine. Here comes Banks. I thought he was going to grass him, Benny Robinson. He was out of steam over the last little bit. You would have had your heart in your mouth if you had a few bucks on him as a runner.
Well, we've seen some impressive chases, haven't we? Morahan down the other end. And Banks right there. Jono Lance, 6 from 8 today. He'd be happy with that.
Jono Lance, and this one is out to the right. Score stays. Perth Spirit 66, Queensland Country 30, and we'll have one last throw at it off this restart. Benny, do you feel like we're going to hit the magic 100-point score?
Advantage.
Maybe not.
Is that 80 minutes before or after? Will we see a scrum here?
We're going to pack it down, so still potential to get 100 points in 80 minutes of play.
Gee whiz.
Will be. Yep.
It shows a lot about this tournament, this competition. As Australians and all supporters, we love to see that open style running game. And 96 points already with time up on the clock. It'd be great to see the 100, wouldn't it?
Crouch.
Well, a converted try to either side would see it become the highest point scoring game in NRC history. So I'm cheering a converted try to one of these two sides. Cat, I don't care who. Queensland Country get a huge march on there, and Tuttle clears. Gee, their scrum has been impressive today. Lafau. Oh, Lafau grasses it. But we're playing a penalty advantage there. I think an infringement at the scrum. So we're going to go back. It'll be Queensland Country tap. Let's see what they can get moving.
Plus one pressure.
100 points in the game.
103, the current record holder.
Yeah.
Nathan, our stats man, just about to scribble down who that match was between and when. Mason will kick for touch while Nathan does that. 2014, it was Brisbane City smashing the Sydney Rays 77-26 up at Ballymore. So, Queensland Country, can they plan it over the chalk and take us past triple figures? Kaitu'u to Rodder. Mason. Lovely short ball to Pincus. I love Pincus to get there. Little Pincus.
Stay there. Stand there.
Cornelson already has one try over the top. The Perth Spirit go. Tuttle quick now to Mason. Mason across to Lafau. Does well to hang on to it. Lafau. So close. Tuttle. Scott Young. He's high and does well to find the turf. Tuttle. In tight they go through for Ungassy. He's driven back the other way. Tuttle again. They've got numbers over the top. It goes to Banks. Banks slides under and dots it down. And we're going to have a conversion attempt to make it a record point scoring game between the Perth Spirit and Queensland Country. Tom Banks, his 4th try in the NRC, another standout performer for Queensland Country today. It's hard to believe they're going to go down by 30, maybe 28. Tupou with a long ball to Banks, and
Congratulations to Rob.
he's such a good finisher, such a well-rounded player. That was simple as for Tommy Banks. Okay, kick to come. 102 points on the board. It'll be Mason. It's a little breezy here at UWA as well. It's not an easy conversion attempt by any stretch. Jimmy Tuttle in there just running a little bit of a windshield for Mason.
I'm backing him.
He's not mucking around. Mason from wide out. The wind catches it and sends it under the crossbar. The kick